हेलो, आई वेलकम यू ऑल टू टीएमएफ। मैं हूं डॉक्टर रजत स्वामी। आज के इस वीडियो में हम बात करेंगे एस्पिरेशन सिंड्रोम के बारे में। एस्पिरेशन सिंड्रोम विच इज कंप्राइज ऑफ द ग्रुप ऑफ द सिंड्रोम ड्यू टू द मिसडायरेक्शन ऑफ द गैस्ट्रिक और ओरोफेरिंजियल कंटेंट इनटू द लंग्स। The two most common type of aspiration syndrome are aspiration pneumonitis, chemical pneumonitis, or Mendelssohn syndrome. And the second most common is aspiration pneumonia. Both aspiration pneumonitis and aspiration pneumonia are separate entity. There may be some overlap in these two conditions. The aspiration pneumonitis patient can develop feature of the aspiration pneumonia, and the aspiration pneumonia patient can present with some feature of the aspiration pneumonitis. The other rare condition include Mycobacterium photoetum pneumonia, chronic airway obstruction, lung abscess, and exogenous lipoid pneumonia. All disorders are caused by the aspiration of the gastric or the oropharyngeal content. Now we will move forward with the aspiration pneumonitis. Aspiration pneumonitis caused by the aspiration of the gastric content into the lungs, which cause acute lung injury. This injury caused by the acid of the gastric content and the food particle. Studies have shown that when the gastric content are aspirated after neutralizing the acid, the ALI is minimal. The magnitude of the injury increase with increased acidity of the gastric content and increased amount of food particle. Acid and food particle cause damage to the alveoli and the airways, cause recruitment of the inflammatory cell, predominantly neutrophil, and increase expression of the inflammatory mediator. They cause damage to the lungs, which result in hypoxia, tachypnea, tachycardia, shortness of breath. Eventually, patient develop type 1 respiratory failure. If condition persists, patient may progress to ARDS. एस्पिरेशन न्यूमोनाइटिस के सारे पेशेंट में ये फीचर नहीं आते. इनफैक्ट 64% पेशेंट ऑफ द एस्पिरेशन न्यूमोनाइटिस आर असिम्प्टोमेटिक. Only 25% require mechanical ventilation and mortality rate around 10 to 15%. Who are the patients at increased risk of the aspiration pneumonitis? The patient with the compromised consciousness are at increased risk of aspiration pneumonitis. The most common cause is drug overdose. In fact, first case of aspiration pneumonitis was discovered in 1946 by Mendelssohn in the obstetric patient during the general anesthesia. Another cause includes CVA, cardiovascular accident, infarct or bleeding, head trauma, seizure. Light anesthesia and emergency surgery or also increase the risk of the aspiration pneumonitis. Aspiration pneumonitis is generally witnessed. Unlike the aspiration pneumonia, patient develops symptom and radiographic infiltrates. Most of the patient of the aspiration pneumonitis remains silent. We only identify aspiration pneumonitis by arterial desaturation, decreased SpO2, and X-ray infiltrates. Since aspiration pneumonitis is a chemical insult, there is no role of antibiotic in treatment of the aspiration pneumonitis, no prophylactic role of antibiotics. So do not give antibiotic prophylactically after aspiration. Suction immediately the content of the aspiration, but do not give prophylactic antibiotic until unless aspiration occur on the background of small bowel obstruction. Since there are patient of intestinal obstruction and he vomit and aspirate the content, then you can give antibiotic, but there is no role of prophylactic antibiotic. The second instance where we can give antibiotic is if aspiration pneumonitis fail to resolve after 48 hours. Then we can give antibiotic, and we have to give broad spectrum antibiotic to cover the gram positive, negative and anaerobic, preferably dosing, and depend on the patient profile. But there is no need to give antibiotic specifically for the anaerobic bacterial coverage. Traditionally, steroid is used for the treatment of the aspiration pneumonia, but there is no evidence to use it. Now we will move forward to the aspiration pneumonia. In contrast to the aspiration pneumonitis, which is chemical insult to the lung, aspiration pneumonia is the microbiological insult to the lung. Remember, there may be some overlapping feature between the aspiration pneumonitis and the aspiration pneumonia. Aspiration pneumonia occurred due to aspiration of the oropharyngeal content. In contrast to the aspiration pneumonitis, which is witnessed aspiration of the gastric content, the aspiration in the aspiration pneumonia is the unwitnessed. Not all aspiration develop aspiration pneumonia. Even 50% of healthy adults aspirate during sleep, but they don't develop aspiration pneumonia due to the mechanical defense, which is forceful coughing, mucociliary clearance, humoral and cellular immunity defense, which clear the bacteria. तो एस्पिरेशन निमोनिया किस में डेवलप होगा? एस्पिरेशन निमोनिया डेवलप होगा या तो एस्पिरेट का वॉल्यूम बढ़ जाए, इंक्रीज वॉल्यूम, या उसका बैक्टीरियोलॉजिकल बर्डन बढ़ जाए, या ऐसे बैक्टीरिया से कॉलोनाइज हो जिसकी वायरुलेंस ज़्यादा हो, और ऐसे पेशेंट जिनकी इम्यूनिटी इम्पेयर हो. All group of patients are at increased risk of developing aspiration pneumonia. Not aspiration, I am talking about aspiration pneumonia. Thus, aspiration pneumonia is developed in very specific clinical setting which differentiate it from other form of pneumonia. 5 to 15% cases of community acquired pneumonia are due to aspiration pneumonia. Also, the incidence of the aspiration pneumonia increase with age. With the age. The people over the 75 year of age have 6 times increased risk of aspiration pneumonia than the people who are less than 60 year of age. The single most major factor for the development of the aspiration pneumonia is the dysphagia. Because patient is unable to swallow his secretion and prone to develop the aspiration pneumonia. Dysphagia also causes protein energy malnutrition and dehydration problem. Dysphagia traditionally associated with brainstem infarct or injury, bilateral cerebral infarct and silent infarct. Dysphagia occur in more than 30% cases of the cerebral infarct. Around 50 to 80% patients of Parkinsonism are associated with dysphagia, and more than 80% patients of the Alzheimer develop dysphagia. Hence, all these patients are at increased risk of aspiration pneumonia. When the patient with this history of the cerebral infarct, brainstem infarct, or the Parkinson and Alzheimer come with a radiographic infiltrate, include the aspiration pneumonia in the diagnosis. These all mentioned conditions act as a fertile ground to develop of the aspiration pneumonia. Now the important step in the pathogenesis to develop the aspiration pneumonia is the microbiological colonization. Microbiological colonization occur with the poor oral hygiene, dental plaques, and with the increased age. Elderly people have increased colonization with the Staph aureus, Klebsiella, E. coli. The people who are admitted in the hospital for the prolonged period of time, specifically in the ICU, there are increased risk of colonization with the NLF bacteria, that is Acinetobacter and Pseudomonas, and the other resistant bacteria. If patient develop aspiration pneumonia with this bacteria, this may become the life-threatening condition because we have very few antibiotic available targeting this organism. The use of the proton pump inhibitor like omeprazole, pantoprazole, which are common in the ICU, increase the gastric pH, hence favor the colonization with the bacteria and indirectly increase the risk of the aspiration pneumonia. How do we diagnose aspiration pneumonia? I have told you aspiration pneumonia have the unwitnessed aspiration episode, unlike the aspiration pneumonitis where the aspiration is the witnessed. In the aspiration pneumonitis, mainly there is aspiration of the gastric content. Here in the aspiration pneumonia, there is aspiration of the oropharyngeal content. We suspect the aspiration pneumonia in the patient with the known risk factor who come with the respiratory symptom and characteristic bronchopulmonary infiltrate on the radiography. The site of the infiltrate is affected by the patient position. Since aspiration pneumonia is a microbiological insult, antibiotic has paramount role in the management of the aspiration pneumonia, unlike the aspiration pneumonitis, which is chemical insult. We give broad spectrum antibiotic. The microbiological isolate shows 49% of aspiration pneumonia are caused by GNB, 16% caused by anaerobic bacteria, and 40% are caused by Staph aureus. And we choose the antibiotic which cover all these organisms, preferentially the gram-negative bacteria. We don't need to give specific antibiotic for the anaerobic coverage except if patient has pre-existing periodontal disease or patient develop necrotizing pneumonitis on the X-ray or develop putrid sputum. In these conditions, we give additional coverage for the anaerobic bacteria. In addition to the antibiotic coverage, we provide supportive management, maintain patient hemodynamics, maintain nutrition, maintain ventilatory bundle if patient on the mechanical ventilation, optimize patient according to fast duct beat. Now the other rare conditions are caused by the aspiration is exogenous lipoid pneumonia. Few words about this. This is rare condition which is mainly caused by the aspiration of gastric content which contain mainly fatty food. This form of pneumonia can also be caused by injection of the olive oil. Aspiration pneumonitis, exogenous lipoid pneumonia, aspiration pneumonitis, they all can develop the lung abscess. Apart from that, food particles which are aspirated can cause airway obstruction. So this is all for the aspiration syndrome. I hope you like this lecture. Thank you.